what's up? It's your girl Jazz. Welcome back to another episode of Vulnerable Vibes. So, today we're talking about the art of being present, the power of being present, I should say. Um, as we know, I took a little hiatus, I took a little break, and during that time, it really transformed the way I look at how I move through life and just just how much time goes by that we spend because I say we because we all do this, I'm sure, but realizing how much time we spend doing instead of living, doing things because we have to get things done instead of just doing things. And I took a moment to pause, a moment to reflect, not by choice 100%, like it was kind of by force, like I went through a lot of things during that time away aside from just being in graduate school and working full time. It was a lot going on even after even after I finished school. It was just so much happening. And a lot of the things that I experienced or that I went through just it kind of forced me to realize how much time I was letting go by without being present. Sometimes when you're always on the go and always in survival mode, grinding, thinking about the next thing, you miss out on so much moments. You miss out on the now, the what's happening around you. And for me, that now used to feel like a blur. Honestly, like I was doing things, accomplishing things that I wanted to accomplish, just checking things off a list, like making new lists and focusing on helping others, being there for people in my life. And I was really disconnected from myself, like really disconnected from myself. I didn't even realize how little time I spent being present, like I said, until I was forced to be. And in that stillness, I started noticing things about myself, like how my body felt, the emotions that I've been avoiding, even like small things, just how I would feel when I woke up in the morning. And prior to me taking a step away from social media and my podcast in 2023, I, I dealt with a lot of health issues. Like I was battling a lot of health issues. I was dealing with just so much. It was just always something I felt like. And this time away, like learning to be present and learning to be still, I swear to you, my health isn't has never been better. I feel so much better. I feel lighter. I feel like a brand new person. And not in a way that like I'm still me, I'm still me at the core, like I'm still who I am, but sometimes you just really don't realize how fast you're moving until you slow down and how much that can take a toll on your body and your mind. Research does not lie. Being present doesn't just feel good. It's literally backed by science. When we focus on the present, when we spend time just being where our feet are, our nervous system is regulated. I literally was not able to go through 1 week without being sick or something being wrong or something feeling wrong. I swear to you, and I still push forward because money has to be made, grades had to be submitted, things had to get done. I couldn't, I didn't give myself that time to like recover ever. And do we ever give ourselves time to recover when we go through things, not just physically, even emotionally? Like when you think about it, life moves on. Life goes on. Like, especially being an adult, like, baby, life, you're gonna go through something on a Monday, and on Wednesday, you're gonna go through something else. And on Friday, you have a meeting. So you don't have time to dwell, you don't have time to recover. And so it's just a buildup of things that are just waiting to be fixed or waiting to be healed. And this is mentally, emotionally, physically, in every aspect, honestly. And so I learned that. And throughout my journey of being in therapy and becoming a therapist, of course, there were things that I healed from. Don't get me wrong. Like, I've made tremendous progress. But there was also things that I didn't until I slowed down and took that break and was forced to take that break, there were things that I didn't realize I did not even tap into yet. Parts of me that I didn't even tap into yet. You know why? Because I was on the go. I was too busy. I was too like moving around too much. So I didn't even know these things existed. Sometimes like subconsciously there are so many things that you may not even realize until you are in that moment of just stillness. And I'm not talking about one day of just taking time to yourself, taking off work, doing nothing. I'm not talking about one day. I'm talking about a long period of time. And that's what happened for me. Like I was talking to my therapist and just like, girl, like I thought I was good. I thought I was making progress. And no, I mean, don't get me wrong. But like I said, I was on a go. I was getting things done, making a list, checking it twice, moving on. And so there were parts of myself that I reached it that I not I reached I didn't even really have to reach into it. Like they really came to surface once I stopped moving. Like I finished graduate school and a month before I finished graduate school, well, a few weeks before my graduation, I should say, my mom died. And that time for me was it was crazy. It was crazy, but I still did not stop moving. And it just forced me to stay like, it got to a point where it forced me to stop. It forced me to stop, and I think that it sounds weird, but I think that needed to happen. Like, I needed to go through that. I needed to experience what it felt like to be backed in the corner with myself and just focus on things that not things that I pushed away, but things that I was too busy to see. And, you know, listen, it's not easy to face yourself. It's not easy to come to terms with the things that you spent years putting away. It's very hard to do that. Like that's not an easy process. Whoever tells you therapy or healing and whoever tells you that it's easy is lying to you. Like it's not easy. It's hard. But it's worth it because you really transform. You really go through a completely like just out of body experience watching yourself become a better person every day, feeling it like I said, like I felt so different. I feel so much better. Just going back to the physical aspect of it, there's a lot of studies that were done with different people and different universities. Like for example, Harvard University, they did a study where they found that people are less happy when their minds are all over the place, when their thoughts are all over the place, when they're not thinking clearly. And even if they're doing something that's pleasant, or like, even if they're doing something that they like to do, a hobby or whatever it is, they're still unhappy and their minds are still just being occupied by constant thoughts and constant things that it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It doesn't, it's redundant. Like, so even if you're doing something you love to do, even if you feel like I'm having a good time, like deep down, are you? Deep down, are you really having a good time? Or are you just, is this is a temporary feeling? And so Harvard did a study and they came to the conclusion that we are happiest when we are not stuck in the past and when we're not worrying in the future. And I know a lot of people have heard this, but when you're stuck in the past, you are in a state of just being sad, right? That's where depression starts to develop. And then when you're too focused on the future, that's where anxiety can start to develop. So it's just finding that perfect medium of just being cognizant of your future, right? Working towards things, but also being appreciative of where you are. And then also, like, not forgetting your past. Our past doesn't always define us, but certain things that we go through or that we've been through, we carry them with us. Good and bad. We carry them with us. And it's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes we can sit in that space for too long. I have sat in that space for a long time. And it took a lot. It's still like every day is we're not gonna be perfect every day, but every day is still a work in progress for me, but that was my issue. Like I never was able to let go of things, if that makes sense. I had a hard time letting go of the past. And even though I would say like, "Oh, I don't care. I'm good. I'm not worried about it." Like, yeah, deep down in my room, when everyone's gone and it's quiet and I'm done with the end of the day, yeah, I'm thinking about my past. And then during the day, I'm thinking about my future. I'm worrying about my future. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. Da, 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 da. Like I just was not present ever. That is what honestly what I realized about moving so fast and moving so much and not being present and focusing so much on the future, dwelling in the past. Like we think we're moving, but the reality is that shit is slowing us down. Like it's actually slowing us down mentally. We're probably getting things done, but mentally we're running in circles, to be honest. Being present, it's not just wellness talk or just buzzwords. Like, no, like your brain, your body literally functions better when you slow down and you engage with what's around you, with the now. And it doesn't have to look like what we see on the internet or on in the media. It doesn't look like meditating and being silent and just being still all day and putting your phone on do not disturb. Like those things can be a part of it depending on who you are, but sometimes it's just the small things like just letting those feelings that you feel today exist. You get what I'm saying? And not saying like, "Oh, I got to stay busy because I don't have time to be sad or I don't have time to think about this." You know what I mean? And taking mindful walks, like the little things, taking a walk, tasting your food, slowing down, being in conversation without thinking about what you're going to say next. Like those little things that I started to do and started to, force myself to do really helped me. And honestly, I feel like being more present has actually made me a lot more quiet, if that makes sense. Like I'm not I wasn't always a big talker, but I like to chat. I like to chat with my friends. I like to chat with my family. And I think being present has made me just more quiet. Like not in a sense of I don't talk to people anymore, but just more so like I'm listening more. Like I don't always have something to say because I'm just basking in a moment of hearing things, taking things in. Like being present is just so powerful because it kind of changes, like I said, those small little habits make big changes and you don't even realize it. Putting your phone down, journaling, noticing when my anxiety is just causing me to be different, feel different, using my breath work to bring me back and just being where my feet are. I know I keep saying that, but I love that saying because it's so true. Like you're worrying about across the street, but you're standing here. Why? Like, why? What's the point of that? These are all things I wish I could have said to myself before, but I learned them. And so I hope that somebody can gain a little bit of insight from this and just, I feel like deep down when your life is in a space where it's like making you think about taking a break. Whatever that looks like for you, like everything is not going to be is not going to fit with every single person. Like individualism is real, okay? What works for me is not going to work for you. What works for person A is not going to work for person B. We're all different. So things are going to look different. But you have to kind of find what that is for you, what being present is for you. And I feel like we feel it. We feel it when like I said, when our life is in a place where it's like, I have to do something. I have to give myself time. We just ignore it too much. And I think that's what I did for years. I started to just be present, just dance to the music that I liked. Just be honest with myself. That's another thing too. Like I think being present forces you to be real with yourself, to be honest with yourself because the truth is we really don't be real. We don't be being real with ourselves. Like we be telling ourselves like, yeah, I'm good. I'm just gonna do this, and we be telling people like, yeah, no, like I'm da da da, and we hang up the phone, and like there's a little voice in the back of our head like, girl, you're lying. You're lying. You're not good. You're not gonna just do this, that, and the third. You're still gonna think about it. You're still gonna be stressed all day and all night. And I think being present really forces you to be honest with yourself and just realize, like, oh, I'm not okay. I'm not good. Like, I'm actually not. I actually need to figure this out and not just go work and hang out with my friends and do a bunch of shit during the day so that I don't think about it. Like sometimes I feel like I wish like, I wonder how my life would like, what would be different about my life had I been more present? You know what I mean? Like, what would I have been able to accomplish had I just taken the time to regulate myself and my emotions and just not focus so much on the future? Because honestly, that caused me so much stress, unnecessary stress for what? Like, just stress and just chaos. Like, that's another thing when we're moving so much and we're just in such a like I said, like, just this hustle and bustle of getting things done, like, honestly, that creates a lot of chaos. A lot of chaos in our minds. We are not able to just sit and organize our thoughts. We're all over the place, and that chaos is very easy to lead to anxiety, very easy to lead to just a host of mental health illnesses, honestly, if we're being honest. Like, when you're not regulated emotionally, yeah, you're opening the door for other things to come in and creep in, whether it's anxiety, depression, I can go on, but we don't realize how much we're allowing our minds to dictate our lives. And if we don't slow our minds down, that's going to continue to happen. And I had to learn this, like I said, I did take a break intentionally, but this was also like I had to learn these things the hard way. Like life forced me to slow down. Things were happening that were out of my control, and I had to just deal with it. Sometimes we feel guilty for slowing down or taking time for ourselves or giving ourselves time. And that's something that I struggled with a lot. Like still have my days, but we don't have to feel guilty for taking the time to feel who we are and where we are, to give ourselves space, to hold space for what we're feeling, to hold space for what we want to do. We don't have to have, we don't have to associate taking time and being still with not doing anything. I think society has really did a number on us. Okay. Society really made us believe that we have to just move all the time. And it's just not true. Like, you can be successful, you can be just amazing in all that you do, but you can also take your time. You can also be at your own pace. There's no rules to how fast or how much you have to get done. There's no rules to there's no timeline. You get what I'm saying? Like we get so caught up in that, so caught up in I have to do this before 30. I have to do this before 25 and I have to do this by this day and summer's coming so I have to do it's just like we're causing so much stress and anxiety for no reason. For no reason. Like I said, I still have my days. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm not perfect. I definitely like if my therapist is watching this, she will tell y'all. She gets on me like frequently. We're gonna always have our days, but I think my like this time away really made me see being present in a whole new light. I'm not gonna lie. I really needed it. And of course, I felt guilty at times stepping away from my brand and taking a pause, but who cares? You know what I mean? Like, there were days where I felt discouraged, and then there were days where I'm like, girl, like, nobody cares. Like, nobody's thinking about you. Nobody's thinking about that. And that's like what I said earlier. Like, when you're present, you start to be real with yourself. You know what I mean? Like that little voice in our head that kind of tells us things that voice comes from fear. You know what I mean? That voice comes from our constant need to be better and to want better for ourselves, which it's okay, we're human. But I think being present forces you to have a different voice, a voice of grace, a voice of just giving yourself grace, giving yourself room to be human. I don't think we give ourselves room to be human. I think, like I said earlier, there's no room because on Monday, something's happening, and then on Tuesday, you have to go to a meeting, or you gotta feed your kids, or you have to go to work, like, 20 minutes after something just happened, or you have to show up for people in your life, or you got to get things done. You got to go to school. You got to like, so yeah, realistically, we don't have time to be human, right? And to give ourselves that space, but you got to do the work. You got to make time. Like, life is not going to knock on your door and say, "Hey, I'm gonna like chill out for this month and not have nothing pop off so you could just, be okay." No, that's just not how it works. Like, things are always happening. We have to pivot and we have to find ways to give ourselves that time. We owe it to ourselves. We owe it to ourselves. I feel like if you are on a journey of being a better person, of wanting to be better, of growing, of healing, you have to make some sacrifices. You got to do some hard things. It takes work. Being better, feeling better, it takes work. And so you have to create that time for yourself. That's just that. And I did that at the same time, like I said, life did force me to do that, but I didn't have to stay in that space. I could have just pushed through like I always did and ignored those feelings, but I didn't. I dealt with it and I'm in such a different space now. Like, being able to catch myself, mid mind rush and just being able to sit in silence, being able to not distract myself with things and just giving myself the permission to rest without earning it. Like, why do we feel like, especially as Black women, why do we feel like we have to earn rest? You get what I'm saying? Oh, if I do this, I could take a nap. Or when I do this, I'm going to take a nap. Why can't I just take a nap? Or why can't I just take off work? Why do I have to? Let me just go through a month with doing, no, like, you need rest, give your body rest. You don't have to have permission. You don't have to, rest is not a reward, it's a right. Being at rest and being still and being present, like, these are these are rights that we have as humans. It's not rewards. We don't have to reward ourselves. We don't have to earn it. And there's different habits too. Like, our habits play a big role. Of course, I love all the practical things, like, the mindfulness things, like taking walks really transformed my life. I'm not gonna lie. Meditation, like breathing techniques, like all of those things, checking in with my body, listening to my body instead of my phone. Just noticing the little moments, like being present is not always easy in meditation. And sometimes it opens the door for feelings that you bury or feelings that you were too busy to acknowledge. Like, for me, it was grief. For me, it was acknowledging things that I haven't done right in my life, things that I could have done better. Whatever it is for you in that moment, you have to just acknowledge it because it's real. You know what I mean? Like, it was real for me. It just helped me grow, it helped me become better. We can really get caught up in moving in our survival mode that we really forget to live and to feel and to be, especially in these times, in this climate. Everybody is trying to survive. If you're listening to this and you feel or hear that little voice in your head that's telling you that you need to take a break, that you need to take a moment, that you need to just be more present, you have to do it. Don't let your empty promises that you keep promising to yourself continue to pile up. Give yourself the space that you need because you're never it's like it's never going to go away. Those things that you're trying not to deal with, or those things that you're trying to get to, like, soon as you get there, guess what? You're gonna try to get to the next thing. So it's never gonna go away. Life is never going to be perfect, but learning to be present has given me a new insight on life, a new perspective, and it has, like, I'm so much better at pivoting. I'm so much better at not letting a bad day make me feel like I have a bad life, because when you're on the go so much, you don't have time to really reflect on things that's happening to you. So it's just like, if something's happening every week or every month, you feel like you have a bad life instead of, oh, I just had a bad month. Oh, I just had a bad week. But you don't take the time to recover from it or to like give yourself that space to deal with it because you're on the go. You're not present. Being present is such a powerful thing. And I want to know Like, I want you guys to comment or just ask yourself this question. What is one small way that you can choose being present this week? One small way. It really only starts with a small moment, a small step. Once you get through that, talk about how you feel. Like, talk about it with yourself. Write it down, journal how you felt after that small way that you created that space for yourself to be present. Like, really reflect on that. How you felt, how your body felt, how things felt around you, what you observed about yourself when you got back into your regular habits of being busy and stuff like that. Just really take time to reflect on that because I promise you, it's going to make a difference. Like, even something small is going to make a difference. So think about it. Think about one small way that you can choose presence, being present this week. And just remember, this is the most important thing that I learned throughout my journey, or that I'm still learning throughout my journey of just being more present. You're not behind. Like, you're not behind. You're not too much. You're exactly where you need to be because everybody's life is different. Everyone's journey is different. And you're exactly where you need to be. Even if things didn't work out, even if things could be different, you are where you are. So you got to embrace that and you got to enjoy that because tomorrow's not promised. Like, I hate the fact that we keep saying that, like, "Oh, life is short," but the reality is we don't live like that. We don't live like life is short. We say it, we know it. We know it's true. We know the realities of it. But are we really living like that? Like, are we really treating our life like life is short when we're constantly worrying about the next thing or constantly dwelling on the past things instead of just being present, instead of just enjoying the moment, enjoying where we are? It's not easy and it's difficult, but like I said, like growing, being better, it takes work. Okay, it takes work. You got to put in the work. I'm just so glad that I'm here. I'm so glad that I'm back. I'm so glad that I got through, those difficult things and was able to like come out of it, like just dealing with the grief of my mom, which I'm still dealing with. It's only been almost 2 years coming up, dealing with, you know, learning things about myself and things that I normalized, like being everybody's person and not giving myself room to have a person, which different topic for a different day. But this is just an example, like just so focused on being for people, doing things for people, being of service and not serving myself. You know what I mean? Like not giving myself space to serve myself. Being present, it's how we start to feel safe in our bodies, like how we start choosing peace and not chasing peace, but choosing it or creating it from the inside out. Oftentimes we say, "Oh, I'm choosing peace," but we're just chasing it. We're not actually creating that peace within ourselves and you're running in place. It's a hamster wheel. Whatever it is that you feel like you could do this week, whether it's mindfulness practices like intentional breathing and meditation or just slowing down or just regulating your nervous system, whatever it is that you can do it. Find a way to do it. And when our body is in its natural resting state, this is where we digest things better. We digest things better. We think more clear. We feel more deeply. And so you might come out of this or whatever it is that you should choose to do. You might come out of it feeling something different or thinking something new or coming up with a new idea. Like I said personally, although being present, you know, it kind of like allowed certain things to come to surface for me. I also was able to learn new parts of myself. I feel like it kind of cultivated my creativity a little more. And it's funny because a lot of people say that when you take time for yourself, you start to see things that you're good at or things that you like, certain things that when you were younger, like we used to be so creative when we were kids. And then when we become adults, we kind of let go of that because we're so busy. And so sometimes I was able to get back to that, like coloring, like playing the piano. I used to play the piano when I was younger. I haven't played the piano in years. And so last year I started playing the piano again and I was so happy. I felt like a little girl, like just being able to tap into those parts of myself that I was too busy to acknowledge. I forgot about her. I forgot about Jazz the pianist. I forgot about Jazz the girl who likes to color and use her hands and make art. I always thought like as I got older, like, oh, I'm not creative anymore. I lost my spark. No, I was just ignoring it because I was too busy. I wasn't being present. So I really appreciate you guys for listening. I really do. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And I really do hope that you can walk away with something. And if you do, if you resonate with this episode, please share it. Please comment. Please like. Please subscribe. And we will be back in a new episode with more insight, more conversations. And I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.